It was an ordinary day, nothing out of the ordinary, until a strange and unsettling event unfolded across the skies. What began as a curiosity quickly escalated into a terrifying, world-shaking incident. On this day, the line between Earth and space blurred in an unthinkable way. This is the story of when an object from space, propelled by an unseen force, fell to Earth with a catastrophic impact, shaking the world to its core. It was a quiet afternoon when the first reports started trickling in. People across a small rural region had begun to notice something strange in the sky, a bright, fiery object streaking across the heavens, trailing a luminous tail of smoke. At first, it was assumed to be a meteor or a piece of a fallen satellite. But as the object grew larger, with a deafening sound echoing behind it, people began to realize this was no ordinary space debris. It was heading straight for Earth, and there was nothing anyone could do to stop it. The object, estimated to be a few tons in weight, had been in orbit around the Earth for years, unnoticed by most of the world's population. It was part of a defunct satellite, abandoned in space long ago when its mission had been completed. The debris, a mixture of metal, carbon fiber, and other space materials, had been left to drift for decades, orbiting the Earth silently. No one could have predicted that, one day, gravity would pull it back down to the surface. As the object entered the Earth's atmosphere, it began to burn up at incredible speeds. The heat from the atmospheric friction caused it to glow red-hot, creating an awe-inspiring spectacle for those who witnessed it. However, this was no mere fireworks display. The object was on a collision course with the ground, and soon, the townspeople would realize the full extent of the danger they were in. The object descended faster than anyone could comprehend, reaching terminal velocity. Its descent wasn't slow or graceful, it was a catastrophic plunge. As it neared the ground, a deafening sonic boom filled the air, rattling windows and sending people fleeing into their homes in panic. Some people tried to capture the event on their phones, unaware of how much destruction was about to unfold. Then, without warning, the object struck the ground. The impact was more powerful than any conventional bomb. A massive explosion sent debris scattering in all directions, creating a shockwave that could be felt miles away. The impact crater, several hundred feet wide, left a deep scar on the landscape, and the surrounding area was engulfed in a cloud of dust, smoke, and fire. The sheer force of the fall leveled nearby buildings and ignited wildfires that spread quickly through the forests. The devastation was instant and catastrophic. Emergency responders arrived at the scene quickly, but the damage was so extensive that it was nearly impossible to navigate through the wreckage. Search and rescue operations began immediately, but the scale of the destruction left many trapped and in need of urgent medical attention. In the aftermath, it was reported that dozens of people had been injured, and a few had tragically lost their lives. Those who survived were left with psychological scars, haunted by the terror of witnessing a fiery object fall from space and strike Earth in such an unexpected and violent manner. But the story didn't end with the impact itself. As scientists and space agencies from around the world scrambled to assess what had happened, they made a disturbing discovery. The object that fell to Earth was not just any random piece of space debris, it was part of a defunct satellite that had once been a part of an international space mission. The mission had been launched decades earlier, with the goal of studying the far reaches of our solar system. After its successful mission, the satellite had been decommissioned and left to orbit the Earth, slowly decaying over time. As part of regular space monitoring, scientists had been tracking the satellite's orbit, but they had no way of predicting when or where it would fall. The satellite's trajectory had gradually become unstable, and the object had been drifting closer and closer to Earth. No one could have foreseen that it would descend in such a violent and destructive manner. The impact prompted widespread discussions about the increasing problem of space debris. While most pieces of space junk burn up upon re-entry, there are still larger objects that make it through, like the one that caused this disaster. This event highlighted the dangers of space debris, a growing issue as the number of satellites and missions increases. Governments and space agencies around the world began to prioritize solutions to address the risks posed by debris in orbit, implementing better monitoring systems and investigating ways to safely remove hazardous materials from space before they could fall back to Earth. In the aftermath, the community that had been devastated by the crash came together. People who had survived the impact now faced the daunting task of rebuilding their lives, but they also formed bonds through the shared trauma. A memorial was erected at the crash site, commemorating those who had lost their lives that day, and honoring the resilience of those who had survived. For years to come, it would serve as a reminder of how closely our world is connected to the cosmos, and how fragile that connection can be. As for the fallen object itself, it became the subject of intense scientific study. Researchers from around the world studied the remnants of the satellite to better understand the materials and technologies that had survived the fall. They also sought to learn from the disaster to prevent future space debris from wreaking havoc on Earth. This tragic event, though a rare occurrence, sparked global awareness about the risks of space exploration and the growing problem of space debris. It also underscored the fragility of life on Earth, and the unknown dangers that can fall from the skies above. The world learned that even the most advanced technology, floating in space for years, could one day come crashing down with unpredictable consequences. The day when space fell to Earth would forever be etched in the memories of those who lived through it, a reminder of the vastness of the universe and how, sometimes, the skies above us can bring more than just wonder, they can bring destruction, too. If you found this story insightful, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this, and share. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.